Hope your New Year's was great, everyone. I'm a little bit sore. I guess you all saw my video from yesterday up on the ski hill. And I'm paying for it today, but that's all good. It's a good feeling. That just means I haven't been going up enough. One day up, one day off to relax, then go up again. I wish. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I would go up again. But it's time for another edition of Your Questions, My Answers. So let's get to it.
Problems, but a mortgage ain't one.
Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Okay, so I've got some from the YouTube comments as well as the Facebook comments, so let's get to it. Start off with John Spoonamore. He's a big follower. He is quite active on YouTube and on the Facebook page too, so props to you, buddy. I love you. He says, I know you enjoy driving your RV, and I think you're a gearhead to some extent. Have you ever thought about turbocharging the RV? More power is always better in my book. And have you had any mechanical issues with the engine, transmission, or differentials? Or would you want to beef up anything mechanical in the RV? Yeah, you're right. I definitely love the big American engines, and like I said before, if I could and if it would fit, I'd put a Hemi engine in this thing, or a V10. Definitely. I mean, I'm quite happy with this though. This is a Dodge 5.9 liter 360 V8, so very, very common. It was put in everything from muscle cars to pickup trucks to full-size vans to Dodge Durangos to Jeep Cherokees, and parts are everywhere. They made the engine for, geez, like 40, 50 years, something like that, with some small changes here and there. I love it. I used to have a 318 in my smaller conversion van from before. I prefer the 360, that little bit extra power, but it's just right. They used to put 360s in big Winnebago Class A's back in the 70s, believe it or not. So they can pull a lot of weight. But yeah, I mean, if anyone out there wants to, you know, soup this thing up for me, put dual exhaust on it and headers, oh, I'd be down. Definitely. Any mechanical issues though? No, I haven't had any mechanical issues, knock on wood, but it's very, very low miles. It's been well maintained, and I try to keep on top of things so they last for a long time. I plan to drive the hell out of it until I need to replace the engine, and then it's brand new again. Taylor275 says, freezing tanks. I gave this some thought as I might be a vanner soon. Pour some antifreeze down your waste tanks. The colder it is, the more you will need, or dump just before a freeze and again when it warms up. Yeah, I mean, again, those aren't issues we have around here. It doesn't go below freezing very often, and when it does, it only goes just a little bit below freezing. Actually, we're supposed to go about freezing tonight. I think it's going to be one degree or maybe 0 degrees, but it's not enough to worry about it. Especially just with the ambient heat of being in here, having the heat on and all that. But yeah, I put some antifreeze down the tanks as well. I've heard that before. Not your fresh water, obviously. That's inside though, under the bed, so it's not going to freeze. Programmer EU says, should you never love someone or something so you won't get depressed when you lose it? Well, yeah, I think that's common sense, but let's stick to the RV questions, guys. You're going to notice, you know, I really spend a lot of time trying to reply to all your comments, or at least give you a thumbs up when I agree with you. But it's getting a little bit overwhelming between the YouTube page and the Facebook page, keeping up with all the comments. So don't be offended if I don't reply to you. But I'm kind of making a habit of not replying to anything that's not on the topic of hand. I don't know what it is with YouTube, but if you put up a video about a subject, about 20 or 30% of the comments have nothing to do with the subject. Like if I do a video about replacing my light bulbs, somebody's going to comment something about my shirt or my hat, or ask some personal question. It's like, well, that's irrelevant. Keep that, you know, send me a message if you want to ask me a question. But well, why are you commenting about something other than the subject at hand in the video? So I'm not going to respond to those kind of questions. If it's something to do with what I'm talking about, the subject, then I'll get back to you when I get a chance. Sorry if that sounds asshole-ish, but I'm just tired of things that don't have any relevance to what I'm talking about. Lusa Daria says, you haven't mentioned Chris Farley in a long, long time. I love Chris Farley. We all love Chris Farley. Hope he rests in peace. But I guess you mean at the end of my videos a long time ago I used to say that? Yeah. I change. Things change. Super Top 5 says, hey Justin, does that roof vent help circulate that food smell out of the van when you're cooking? I just ask, since if I'm going to be cooking all the time in my rig, I don't want my place to smell like a restaurant. Well, of course, any fan will. Whether it's above your stove or the fantastic fan, but it, you know, just like in your apartment, you turn on your stove fan if you're cooking, right? It's not going to eliminate everything, but keep on top of things and clean things. You know, one thing I like about having the white laminate and white paneling in here is that you end up cleaning more often because you notice when things start getting a little bit grimy from cooking and whatnot. And whereas in the dark wood paneled RVs, which I've had before, I don't remember ever cleaning my walls half as much as I do in here. And that's probably just because I can't see the crap on them, which is kind of worse if you ask me. Benny S. says, I was wondering about your real-life power usability. Let's say it's night and your batteries are fully charged. You don't want to sleep, have all the lights on, you're watching DVDs, using your connected laptop and making coffee every few hours using an electric kettle. You said cattle, but I think you mean kettle. Will your batteries make it through the night, or how many hours can this party last? I guess if you call that a party. And electric kettle, I don't know anybody in an RV that would use an electric kettle. I mean, it takes less than 2 minutes to boil water on the stove and make coffee, so that's using propane, so that's nothing. But DVDs and laptop at the same time, highly unlikely. If I'm watching TV, I'm obviously not going to be on my laptop. But this, with the DVD running, uses approximately 20 watts. Without the DVD, just as a monitor, it's around 10 or 12 watts, so it's nothing. It's just LED. It's LED backlight, and it's 12 volt. So this is like having a few of the LED lights on, so it's irrelevant. And all of the rest of the lights in here are all LEDs I've gone over in all my videos. So very, very low wattage. I could leave them all on, wake up, and go to bed and wake up in the morning. They'll still be on, and I'll be fine. And then the solar's charging again. So not a problem. Now, if I'm running my laptop all night and have to keep plugging it in every few hours, I mean, all the lights in here probably use a total of 30 or 40 watts if they're all turned on at the same time on full brightness and everything. At the most, I don't even think that much. Whereas the charger for one of these can easily use 100 watts. So this sucks down more than anything. But it still hasn't been a problem for the deep cycle battery I have. I turn off my amplifier for when I'm listening to music or when I'm watching a movie through the surround sound in the vehicle. And because the amplifier is connected to 2 subwoofers, it's a 600 watt amplifier. So it's going to put out a lot of boom. It's good to watch a movie, but I'm not going to leave it on all night if I'm just listening to music. So that saves a lot of power. But I haven't had an issue yet. Just once I've managed to kill the batteries completely, and that was at a music festival in the summer when we had everything turned on without the generator running and a DJ hooked up to my sound system cranking tunes all night. So not a worry. Again, you adjust. If you notice your batteries are low, you just adjust. You don't use stuff. You just wait until you have power the next day and you do it. Pluto Believer says, yep, it's 20 feet in LA. That's talking about length restrictions. If you're looking for an RV and you plan on traveling from city to city or living in a city doing this, like I've been saying constantly, 21 feet is the absolute maximum length RV you should buy. Sometimes 20 feet. Sure enough, in Los Angeles, it's 20 feet or they can ticket you. Specifically to get rid of people living in big buses on the street and stuff like that, no doubt. From the Facebook page, Dave Coelho says, how many different overnight friendly spots have you found around Vancouver? Well, Dave, there's nowhere that actually specifically says we're overnight friendly. It's just where can you get away with it without getting noticed or drawing attention to yourself? And there's probably 100 places all around Vancouver. Around Metro Vancouver, maybe more than that. But again, don't stay in one spot. Move every day. As long as you do that, almost anywhere can be a friendly spot for you. So, Clinton Hayworth says, where do you receive your mail and eBay packages while living in a mobile home? I don't know why this question keeps coming up, but I mean, I'm sure everyone out there has a friend with a fixed address somewhere, right? Just use a friend's place. It's not hard. Just say, hey, buddy, can I send my mail to your house? I mean, I don't get much mail. When I order stuff on eBay, that's when I need an address. And I don't even use the address that's registered on my insurance and my driver's license. I use my friend's address because he's in a house and he can get deliveries for packages. Where the other one on my driver's license is an apartment address that I used to stay at. And I can't get packages there because, you know, it's an apartment. It's a real pain in the ass. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. But for regular mail, I mean, I go check it every month or two and see what kind of spam or junk mail I got. Zen Tierra says, don't know if you've already done this in depth, but how about a video on the ins and outs of your fridge? I've read that they can be problematic if your rig is not perfectly level, which can be kind of an issue if you're parked curbside. And Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you too. That was true with the older RVs, but newer, more modern rigs like this, they're not that sensitive. I'm always on a little bit of a tilt, but the fridge has been just fine. With the older RVs, you'll notice a big difference in temperature once you're off balance, off level. Plus, you're going to be doing damage over time. If you keep running it when you're really off level, even if it seems like it's working, over time it's clogging up the pipes in the back. Go read up on it. So you want to be level. A lot of these higher end Class Bs, like Explorer, actually, this one had an option. This one doesn't have it, but some of them had the air shock option, a switch on the dashboard. You could actually adjust the left, right, up, down air shocks, just like the bigger rigs have. This one doesn't have it, but this one does have the air shocks at the back, so I can actually just go there. You just fill them up out back. I can just fill them up at any gas station, or use a hand pump and pump up one side or the other, just like that. It's actually better than putting a block of wood under your tires on the street. You don't want to do that. If it came down to that, I wouldn't bother using my fridge if I was in a place that was really off level. It's not a necessary thing for me. So Zed Shark says, "What's up, Justin? I'm a new sub, and you really like watching your vids. You do? You mean you do, not me." I came over after watching Happy Homeless channel. I think you mean Happily Houseless. Yeah, he's a good guy. Couple questions. One, have you explored any options for having a bigger fridge? Another fridge question. Not sure where it could even go, but I see that small fridge being a problem I would face. Well, I don't know. Why would that be a problem? I mean, look at it. I don't consider this small at all. I've had Class Bs with fridges much smaller than that. In fact, I've had them half the size. This one even has a little freezer in it. So to me, this is luxury, and it's not even half full most of the time. And you can find a lot of vanners on YouTube who will tell you that you don't need any fridge at all. And I'm kind of like that. I'm a minimalist. I don't have that fridge on half the time. I'll only turn it on if absolutely necessary, if I have something that's perishable in there. But I try not to buy things that need to be regulated like that all the time. Otherwise, it's kind of going against the point of this lifestyle. But that's just me. I definitely don't have it running 24 hours a day. To me, it's a luxury. It's once in a while I have milk or open cheese or open meat or something like that. I'll use it. Generally, I don't need it most of the time, though. And hey, a lot of stuff you store in cupboards, you have to refrigerate after you open it. Well, that's fine. So when I take beers out of it, I replace it with warm beers and put them in the fridge. So I have cold beers later, right? I don't need to store them all in there at the same time. So it's not a big deal for me. Purchaser says, "I'm sure you have insurance, but what would you do if your vehicle is totaled or stolen? I would hate to see that happen to anyone, but stuff happens." Thanks, Brian. Well, insurance. I mean, it's no difference than if you're living in a house or an apartment and it gets broken into or burnt down or something happens, right? So it's the exact same worry. It makes no difference whether you're on wheels or not. So what would you do if your house burnt down? Vanorama TV says, "Hey, Justin, thanks for reading the Class A motorhome question on the last video. Funny thing is, while watching you answer it, I was in the process of buying T-Rex, a dinosaur with an attitude problem. A 19.5 foot Ford Class B lifted 4x4. Yep, I'm stoked, man. Now I can officially be a van life poser. So here's a question. What gas mileage do you get with your rig?" About, depending on how heavy I am on the pedal and what song is playing over the stereo, because that affects my gas mileage right now, because I floor it when it's a good song. I'll get between 13 and 16 miles per gallon on average. So that depends city to highway, right? To me, again, I could live in an apartment, pay rent, and then buy a car that gets 30 miles per gallon. But if you get 15 miles per gallon or even 10 miles per gallon in a motorhome, you're still saving a ton of money. So who cares, right? Especially if you're not paying rent. That's it for this edition. We'll catch you next week, everyone. Keep on rocking in the free world. Hey, so what do you think of van life?
Van life's fucking awesome.
Styrofoam boxes fully